Shalom. It's your brother Samat back at it again, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the brothers. It's pushing this word in truth and sincerity, and to the sincere Wathim out there that's listening. Shalom. All right. Now this thing of ours, man, it's all about endurance. It's all about patience. The essence of patience itself is to suffer. The conscious effort of waiting on something, is ultimately suffering because, we live in a society in which we seem to be evil, wicked, depressing, mournful, and all things of that nature. And we also have received the spirit to know of the kingdom to come, the life to come, eternal life, joy, peace, harmony, euphoria, never ending, and regaining our inheritance, or truly receiving our inheritance, actually truly receiving our inheritance that we have in the world, because this world was made for our sakes. Now, with that being said, because we went off with the Lord, he put us in our captivity. He put us in this captivity that we're in today and scattered us across the four corners of the earth. And this is our greatest punishment. But this is also going to be our greatest salvation. So like it. And in this life now, we're afflicted on all sides, especially, and I'm specifically talking about us in the truth, us that's in the know of who we are, and it's actually striving to do the work of the Lord, striving to do his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, showing our faith, pushing out his word, feeding his sheep, going out in the highways and hedges to compel the people to come in, doing the hard labor for the Lord, So us, is who I'm talking about. Now, we go through a lot of affliction. We go through a lot of hell. We go through a lot of suffering. But it's okay because this affliction that we go through is for our learning, It's for our punishment, but it's more so for our learning at this point. Now, I'm going to read Proverbs 3:11, verse 12. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. For whom Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. So if any of you Akim out there that have children, especially sons, because father and son, we kind of discipline our sons a little differently than we would our daughters. I'm just speaking from when you're on the outside. I don't have any children myself, but from what I've seen and experienced, and as the scriptures even say, even as the father, the son, as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. But you can't despise the chastening. As children, growing up, we always despised our, the chastening, our beatings, getting our ass whooped by, our moms, our fathers, growing, as kids, we used to always think like that's evil. Me personally, man, I used to tell my mom, like, I'm never going to beat my kids. That's evil and mean. I'm never going to put them through this. Little did I know, man, fast forward to when I turned, I believe, probably 18 or 17 is when I probably really start to realize, the significance behind those beatings. And, and I realized that it's through love, really, that, that I got those beatings. Because, and you was going off, but it was, it was to correct you, It was a form of correction, man, and also to put fear, to show the fear that, is the righteous fear, man, that you're supposed to have towards your father, specifically, and then, just to learn to give respect, honor to your mother or whatever. But we don't despise the chastening of the Lord. We take delight in the Lord's chastening, because it's just another way that we know the Lord is dealing with us, man. Because the Lord, he corrects and he chastises whom he loves. The father. If a father doesn't care about you, man, he ain't gonna take the time and energy to discipline you. He's just gonna let you continue to do all the wrong that you're doing and continue down the path that you were going, so you can fall on your own face, man. But a father who loves his child, man, he'll correct his child. He'll beat his child. He won't spare the rod from his child, man. He'll chasten him because he loves him. He wants him to go down the right path, man. He doesn't want him to go down the path. A father rather beat his son down, not physically speaking, but beat his son down instead of letting the world do it, man. You know, I'd rather my son, I'd rather my son, get kicked in the ass by me rather than get kicked in the ass by the world, man. Because the world don't love him, The world don't love you, but the Lord does, man. Hey, if he's dealing with you, you know. But it's our duty to see if I can find something. Let me see if I could find something to go with that too. That's a good one. Look, Job 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore, despise not thou chastening of the Almighty. Yeah. There's plenty of scriptures to just go back this up, man. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Yahweh, and teachest him out of thy law. Hey, man, the Lord discipline you can ultimately get you right in the law, man. It helps remove that, that impurity out of you, The Lord is beating the impurity out of you, It says 1 Corinthians 11:34, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Hey, that's why the Lord is disciplining us, man, and chastising us, and we're afflicting hell on this side, man, because so that we don't have to be condemned with the world. That's why you have people of the world, like really, truly of the world. Like, I'm not talking about, the people that might not know that they're Israelite yet and that's going through some hell, because you got people that's really worldly, and then people that's just in the world but don't know the truth. You got people who, a lot of brothers and a lot of us might have been like that. We might have been in the world but not really of the world, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of how we are now, but without the truth. We kind of just going through life, just trying to make do, get by, because that's all we know. But we not out here seeking vainglory. We just trying to be able to provide for our families, make an honest living, not have to live check to check, live in a nice neighborhood, whatever. Not have to worry about your house being all robbed and walking down the street and getting shot, just the normal basic things of life. You got those in the world that seek to be millionaires and drive the fanciest cars and do the fanciest things, have the fanciest, all these different things, basically vainglory in the world. Then you got those who just want to make an honest living, live comfortably, be able to provide for their family, give their children all the things that they didn't get coming up. The basics, the basic simple jakes, man. Because I was kind of in the middle between that when I was in the world personally, but the Lord, brought me into this, and I'm truly grateful, man. Let's see. Now I'm gonna go to 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, I'm gonna start at I'm gonna just start at 1 and read down. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushai Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of his life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Hey, so man, look, the Lord compared us to be soldiers, man. The Lord said we are soldiers, man. Scriptures say that, we are to endure hardness as a good soldier, because a soldier, man, endures hardness, because to be a soldier, you go through excruciating training, man. to become a soldier, man. That's what soldiers do. They go through hardcore training and they go through a lot of hardships, man. But that's what makes a soldier a soldier. That's why when you see a soldier, man, they're typically the idea of a soldier is typically a mighty man, mighty men that's built for war and combat, man. And it takes a strong man to be built for war. A regular man can't go to war. Like back when you think back in the times like the Spartans and different things like that, war like that. I'm talking about a normal, average man can't go to war like that, man. He's not gonna be able to endure that hardness. You got men in that thing, man, that at times could get stabbed and still be fighting, still be putting in work, get arrows thrown through them, still being able to stand and run and just with the adrenaline, but just to have that ability to do that, man, is the ability to be able to endure hardness, man. So we supposed to endure hardness as a good soldier, man. But we're enduring hardness you know, from all the spiritual wickedness in the world and all the hell that we catch, man. And it's all about endurance because the Lord wants us to be patient, man. The Lord wants to see us grow. He wants to see our faith. It's all a test of faith, man. That's what this thing of ours is about, man. We're faith-based Israelites, man. We go off faith, man. And we believe what we preach. We believe in everything. We believe in the things that we can't see. We believe in the Lord's words, man, in its entirety. We believe that the Lord's word will not go out void. So that's why we do this work. That's why we strive to be right for the Lord. We always praying for forgiveness, repentance, acceptance, you know. But don't, basically just don't be in that woe is me spirit, to why me? Why am I catching this hell, man? Why this? Don't be in that spirit, man. You got to understand, if you feel like you catching a crazy man of hell, man, look, just go 2 times harder for the Lord, man. Go 7 times harder, man. Do, whatever you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. What's right for you. Figure it out. Find your balance, your own personal balance, and make it work for you, man. Do more fast. Some brothers can fast, weekly. Some brothers can fast monthly. Some brothers can fast a couple times a week. Everybody's balance is a little different, with their work schedule and different things like that. But if you have a hectic work schedule where it's really hard for you to find a full day, a full 24 hours to be off, to do a fast for the Lord, maybe try, taking a personal day, man, requesting a personal day off, and spend that day for the Lord, do what you got to do, man. It's definitely, a time to fast more, with all the affliction, and then especially the times coming, man. This stability, is that time is coming. We're coming into the times of stability. When you go into Isaiah, and it talks about how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. We're going to come to that. We're coming into those times now. So we want to make sure we're doing all that we can to build up our spiritual currency, and basically, build up our armor, our spiritual armor. So, myself personally, I need to, start fasting more. I used to be good with it because, I used to have a steady work schedule to where I worked 4 days, but my days were spread apart. So it was easy for me to fast like the same day every week. It was easier for me to do that. Now my work schedule is all over the place. So I'm trying to find that balance myself, but, that's just an encouragement to brothers with, this hell that we're enduring. I'm gonna get 2 Corinthians 1:6. Let me see. I could probably read from 4 down, but I'm going to get to the point. Verse 6 says, whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation. Yeah, that consolation, man, that's basically, something that's comforting after, something, something bad that has happened, Like if a loved one, had passed away, or something tragic happened. If let's say there was a crazy hurricane, earthquake that destroyed all your homes in your neighborhood, and something like that. That consolation, man. That's like the comforting speech, or the something comforting, And it says, "It is for your consolation, for your comforting and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation." The affliction that we catch, man, it's effectual, man, for our enduring, man. It's effective, man. It's very effective and building us up, man, and comforting us, because when you when you become a spiritual man, you look at things spiritually. So you look at affliction spiritually and not carnally. A carnal man will look at affliction and think, why me? God ain't, why is God forsaking me? A carnal man. But a spiritual man will look at affliction and think, call all your help by Shem Yahushai. He's dealing with me, man. He's trying to strengthen me. He's trying to teach me something. A spiritual man would discern it like, yo, the Lord is trying to teach me something, man. And that's what it is. Especially if the Lord is as merciful, man. The Lord is all about balance too. So the Lord ain't just gonna give you all hell, hell, hell. So you gotta understand that too, Akim. It'll be a good balance between catching hell and getting blessed, man. You know. And then we'll look at our blessings, man, and it'll be simple things, man. But to a carnal, worldly person, the little blessings that we get, they'll take for granted, or be ungrateful about it. But us, we look at all different things, man, spiritually, and that's what it's about, you know. Verse 7 says, "And our hope of you is stood fast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the sufferings, so shall ye be also of the consolation." Yeah, man. We suffer. We suffer with Yahweh Shai, man. We suffer as Yahweh Shai suffered. Maybe not physically how he suffered, but we suffer, man. We go through a lot of emotional and mental suffering, man. It's really a suffering, man, to be a spiritual man, to seek and crave righteousness so much and have to live in a wicked world, man. It's like it's pure righteous vexation, man. It's pure righteous vexation, man. Every day you gotta walk out and see sodomy, man. You gotta see carnality, man. You gotta see just wickedness, man. You see nothing but whores of our women, man. You see nothing but blasphemers and niggas of our men, man. You see nothing but fucking heathen, filthy ass heathen walking up and down the street that own everything, and we gotta go to them for everything, man. We don't own shit, man. We up in everybody else's customs, everyone else's cultures, everyone else's doctrines, and don't have nothing for ourselves, man. That's pure vexation, man. And knowing that we have the keys, man, like DJ Khaled said, we got the keys, man, and then our people just reject it, man. That's vexation. But it's okay because, we're gonna endure affliction, man. Because matter of fact, I'm gonna get it. James, I believe it's James 1. It says here it is, verse 1 and 12, it says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord Yahweh hath promised to them that love him." Hey, man, blessed, man, is the man that endureth temptation. Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1, I believe, says, "My son, when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul with temptation." And we had brothers, when we first came into the camp, we had brothers tell us, like, listen, once you put your hand to this plow, you become a target to Satan, more than ever, because before, good, you knew you was Israelite, you tried to keep the laws. That's cool, Satan's on you a little bit. Once you put your hand to the plow, you become a man, a shepherd, man. You become a shepherd. Now the devil's on you, man. You know, we had brothers warn us. Warn us, and that was your pod, man. Had brothers warn us, letting us know, listen, you're going to endure these different afflictions in this hell, but it's all good. It's all, righteous afflictions that the Lord allows the devil to come at us, but the Lord keeps our spirit. The Lord has us to endure. And I'm gonna just end off with this, Ephesians 6. And I start at 10, and I'm going to just read down to 12. I'm going to just read down to 12. It's infamous. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on a breastplate of righteousness, man. Hey, man, this is your pod, man. I had to read down. This is like a war chant, man. We brought this out at camp, this past Saturday, man. It was your pod. We ended with this, man. Hey, it'll be your pod. Brothers read from Ephesians 6, verse 10, all the way down to like 18, man. Just every day, man, if you can. That's like just getting you ready to, read this before you go out into the world, man. Go out into the wicked world, every day. Before you leave the comfort of your home, man. Read this, man. And let this be your comfort, man, right in your armor. It's just like reading this is like putting on your armor, man, before going to battle. Because it's an everyday battle, man. It's a battle every day, like the scriptures just said. We wrestle against principalities, against powers and rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places, man. Every single day, everywhere you go, is going to be wickedness in high places, man. Call lawyer How about Shimi Hawashai. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Till next time, shalom.